welcome to my views and news. Main news stories about the arrival of US Secretary of State Antony Blinken in Ethiopia. Ethiopia is giving Blinken the cold shoulder. Blinken received a lukewarm welcome in Addis Ababa, who was at Addis Ababa's Bole airport to welcome him. What is diplomatic protocol? Secondly, 30 diaspora Ethiopian organizations have written a letter to UN Human Rights Council and UN Human Rights Council members about UN Inquiry Commission. Ethiopia is trying to put an end to the mandate of this commission. And thirdly, Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital, where some military camps are being established in different parts of the city. What is the reason behind deployment of military in Addis Ababa on permanent basis? Firstly, viewers, Antony Blinken, US Secretary of State, has arrived in Ethiopia. We were waiting for this visit because this visit is going to determine several coming developments in this region. If you remember, Sergei Lavrov, Russian foreign minister, visited Ethiopia last year. Who welcomed him? Demeke Mekonnen, who is Ethiopian foreign minister and deputy prime minister, welcomed Sergei Lavrov on arrival at Bole airport. And diplomatic protocol is that foreign minister should be welcomed by foreign minister. Back then, I remember that PM Abiy was missing from political scene. For almost 3 weeks, he remained away from political activities. He was not seen in public. And Lavrov reportedly talked to him on phone. But Lavrov was warmly welcomed by Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of Ethiopia. Blinken is the top US diplomat to visit Ethiopia since the start of this war which ended last year, war which broke out in November 2020. Secretary of State, his rank. Diplomatically, protocol is that he should be welcomed by Demeke Mekonnen, who is a foreign minister. Is Demeke in Ethiopia? I don't have any information that Demeke is not in Ethiopia. But he was not welcomed by Demeke on arrival at Bole airport. Antony Blinken was welcomed by Misgano Arega. Misgano Arega is State Minister of Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So it's clear that Ethiopia is not very passionate about Blinken's visit. Why? What happened? What is the reason? Several issues, viewers. Firstly, Molly Fee is head of US Africa Bureau, East Africa Bureau. She is top US diplomat in this region. And yesterday, in an interview, she said that US-Ethiopia relations were not ready to go back to normal. She said Ethiopia needs to do more in terms of transitional justice, in terms of putting an end to cycle of ethnic political violence. US State Department issued a statement yesterday saying that US, the largest donor, bilateral donor to Ethiopia, donor of humanitarian aid, that since 2020, US has given humanitarian aid to Ethiopia worth 3.16 billion US dollars. And US State Department, in a statement about Antony Blinken's visit to Ethiopia, said that the visit would focus on implementation of Pretoria deal and about measures to ensure justice and accountability. This is the main issue. Ethiopia is trying to put an end to the mandate of UN Inquiry Commission. It was being said that Ethiopia could table a resolution at UN Human Rights Council's ongoing session. No resolution so far. But this is a public position of Ethiopian government that it wants to put an end to UN Inquiry Commission's mandate. US, EU, they want the commission to be given access to Ethiopia to continue investigations. First, disagreement between Ethiopia and US. Secondly, Ethiopia is hoping to receive financial assistance, hoping to receive bailout. It's in the grip of economic crisis. IMF in talks with Ethiopia, World Bank in talks with Ethiopia, US government as well. No loan rescheduling, no new loans, no grants, no direct financial aid. All aid is humanitarian, arriving through aid organizations. No announcement, though it is expected that Ethiopia could get some relief. But no announcement so far. Second reason of tension between Ethiopia and the US. Thirdly, AGWA suspended last year, not restored so far. Ethiopia lobbying for the restoration of AGWA. Ethiopian textile industry, leather industry suffered a lot. Factories closed, workers laid off, but no restoration so far. Again, restoration is being linked to accountability for war crimes which happened in northern Ethiopia. Three main issues. And fourthly, TPLF is dragging its feet for the formation of interim government. 2 days ago, talks held in Bishoftu between PM Abiy and TPLF leaders and Tigray military commanders failed. PM Abiy rejected the names submitted by TPLF leaders. Since TPLF is backed by the US diplomatically, that is why PM Abiy is not happy with the TPLF. And lastly, we must not forget that PM Abiy's close ally, Eritrean President Isaias Afwerki, is not happy with growing cooperation between Ethiopia and US. If Ethiopia gets closer to US, obviously Eritrea-Ethiopia relations could be hurt. So there are several issues. So far, we can say lukewarm welcome to Blinken in Addis Ababa. But he is due to meet PM Abiy. Let's see what he has to say. Will he make any announcement of aid? What will he say about accountability, about investigations into human rights abuses, about Pretoria deal? Try to update you in coming videos. So far, all is not well between Ethiopia and US. Secondly, viewers, Ethiopia is trying to stop the mandate of UN Inquiry Commission, though new resolution has not been tabled at the ongoing UN Human Rights Council session, 5-week-long session, but 30 Ethiopian government-backed diaspora organizations have written a letter to the members of UN Human Rights Council. Diaspora organizations claim that the investigation conducted by UN Human Rights Commission and Ethiopian Human Rights Commission in the past is enough. It should be, its recommendation should be implemented. No need of a new investigation. That is why UN Inquiry Commission's mandate should be terminated. So we can say this is Ethiopia speaking through diaspora organizations. Ethiopia maybe could not get the support for the resolution. That is why resolution has not been tabled so far. But session is still ongoing. Maybe in coming days, Ethiopia could remove the resolution. So far, through these diaspora organizations, Ethiopia is sending a message that it wants termination of UN Human Rights UN Inquiry Commission's mandate. Thirdly was Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital, where military camps are being established. In at least four parts of four different areas of Addis Ababa, military camps are being established. Ethiopian National Defense Force will be deployed there reportedly. Federal forces will be deployed there. The four camps are in Kolfe, Jamba, Nefas Silk, Burayo. Four areas of Addis Ababa. Questioning what is the need for the establishment of military camps. A few days ago, if you remember, it was announced about the establishment of a military command post in Addis Ababa. It was announced when Church had announced nationwide protest against the government. And after that, on Adwa Victory Day, we saw unrest at Minlik Square between participants and security forces. One was killed, several were injured. And after that, we saw statements from Addis Ababa government that some forces wanted to overthrow Addis Ababa government by entering Addis Ababa from other regions. So, government now believes that an attempt is being made to change the demographic balance of Addis Ababa, that armed fighters are entering Addis Ababa, especially from Amhara region, and national events held in Addis Ababa are turning into security threats. That is why presence of more security forces is needed in Addis Ababa, because one day there could be a coup, maybe not from the military but from the people, civilians. And if you remember, after church issue, Ethiopian government made some arrests. And the government claimed that an informal group was in the making. Attempt was made to form an informal group for staging a coup, for the removal of the government from power. And it happened reportedly in Addis Ababa. So that is why we are seeing more deployment of security forces in Addis Ababa, and four camps are being established in different parts of the capital city. Thank you for watching.